What up, what up? I got off early from my respiratory therapy shift. Let me lower it just a little bit more. I can never tell whether it's actually low enough for you guys not to hear. But listening to a little bit of Whitney Houston, she's literally like one of my faves. When I was growing up, I used to be Whitney Houston. My sister used to be Mariah Carey on like the Prince of Egypt soundtrack. You know what I'm talking about? No? Okay. But as I say, like I literally used to try to sing all her songs all the time. But anywho, got off early. So I thought I'd come and record a little video about how the heck did I get here. Travel edition. Because I said I was gonna do those 3 intro videos. Whew. So I was gonna do those 3 intro videos, so I'm trying to hold myself accountable and actually do them. Oh my gosh, side note, I got these like really cute pants from ASOS that fit and they let the booty pop, you know what I'm saying? Sorry, this isn't a clothing video. Gotta stay focused sometimes. Okay, so travel. I can't believe I just did that. So I'm not recording this. Okay, so if you've heard from like previous videos, my parents immigrated here from Nigeria. I think my dad's been here for over 40 years now. It's kind of crazy. But growing up, we used to go back to Nigeria all the time. And I think after I was born, we were actually going to move back to Nigeria. And so we had gone back for like at least a year. Like I vaguely remember one of my birthdays being there in this like really pink poofy dress. But I think before a year was up, my dad changed his mind and we came back. And so we would go there very often because like we had family, of course we had family there. My grandparents were there. And if they weren't here with us or with other aunts and uncles and stuff, we'd be over there with them. And so we just kind of grew up traveling. I think my dad just loved to travel too. And back then it was so much more affordable. Like kids were free up to a certain age or something. So I know we were definitely traveling more than we did as I got older once things started changing economy-wise. So I think I was introduced to traveling that way because that was where my parents were from and that's home. And who doesn't want to go back home, right? If they have the opportunity to. So yeah, so my dad and my mom kind of started that off for us. And when I went to college, I was looking for any way to get to study abroad and like take care of classes too. And for pre-med, that's really difficult. But I found a program where I could do my year of physics in 8 weeks, which is insane. I know, it's insane, right? So it was in England, and I was like, oh, duh, I'm going to freaking England. I'm gonna drink tea and all this stuff. And like, so I found this program that like a lot of kids that I had known, like they were years above me had gone to at the University of Sussex in Brighton. That is I had a very good British accent at the time. My sister has a really good one now, and it's just like intimidating as heck to even try. Anyways, so I went to the University of Brighton. Dang it! I tried to talk with the accent, and now I'm messing up my words. Went to the University of Sussex to do a year of physics in 8 weeks, and it was freaking intense, but it was bomb and eye-opening. And like, I went with like friends. And initially, I think I was just like, I wasn't like super wise or anything, but I had tried to go the summer after my freshman year when my friends weren't interested in going, because I was like, I think I'll be pushed to do things that I'm not comfortable and make more friends and things like that if I'm not with people that I'm comfortable with. But then my daddy was like, nah, boo. I'm like, you're not going, aka I'm not ready for you to go. So I ended up going the summer after my sophomore year. And while I was there, I ended up going to Sweden for a couple of days, and then to Spain for a couple of days with a friend. And I think that's really what started it off. I was like, dang, there's so much to see, and why am I not out here seeing it? It doesn't make any sense. So when I graduated, I didn't get to study abroad again. Let me lower this a little bit more. I didn't get to study abroad again, unfortunately. But after I graduated, I started my Master's of Public Health program. And because I was super interested in like global health and how to get whatever skills I needed to be able to work within that realm, once I got like once I got into med school and stuff, I chose the global health leadership track. And so with that, you have to do a practicum or an internship kind of experience, either in an internationally based organization like the World Health Organization or the UN or something like that, or go abroad and work with an institution or an organization that's doing this, working to better the healthcare within their community. And so I ended up doing that December 2014. I ended up going to India. And there was only me and another student that was interested, and I never met this other student before. She was in the MPH program. And so to me, it was kind of like a solo trip because honestly, I was going by myself. I didn't really know anyone. And of course, I'd never been to India or never even thought that I would go. My parents were probably looking at me like, maybe we need to go get our head checked because India, do you know people in India, So I ended up going to India. And it was during Christmas break, so it was the first time I was going to miss Christmas away from my family. And I was good. Like I had a great time. That I went to work for the Institute of Indian Mother and Child, which is ran by Dr. Suji Brahmachari, who was the medical director for Mother Teresa. And it was just like a really eye-opening experience. I could talk about that a whole other time, but it was a very eye-opening experience. But once Christmas came, I was so homesick, yo. I told my sister and my brothers, like, yo, be up at 7 a.m. because that's the time we're going to overlap perfectly. Like, don't mess with me. I'm going to have Wi-Fi. You better be ready for my phone calls. Everybody was asleep. I was upset. I was like, what are you doing? Why are you sleeping when I'm calling you? Foolish goats. So I was going crazy. So I have a friend that used to be in California, but her family's from Amsterdam. And she'd been telling me like, oh, come and visit me. And I'm thinking like, yo, I ain't got the money to do that. But I had like saved enough for this trip. And so I ended up going to the Wi-Fi when they weren't answering my calls. I went and checked the flights and I found a flight from India to Amsterdam. Emotions, yo. Ended up booking a flight because I finished my project and everything that I had been there for, but I still had another like 3 weeks to go. And all the friends that I had made, they're like on a month-long volunteer thing, is like how they were accepting students for that institute. And so all the friends I had made and got really close with were leaving like within like 2-3 days from Christmas, and a whole new bunch of people were going to come in. And for some reason, my panicked out, I'm not having Christmas with my family mind could not like take the fact that I was like gonna have to like remake new friends, whatever. And I saw that flight. It was like a steep $800, and I was like, girl, you ain't got $800 to be spending right now. You're gonna go home and be like, about the flight. And I ended up staying for like almost 2 weeks in Amsterdam, spending the New Year with my friend, and it was actually a really good idea. I ended up getting to spend a day in Paris on the way. And so this was like a really like all-inclusive travel experience of going to a completely foreign country. And then, shoot, I didn't have a jacket. I was going from like hot India to freezing Amsterdam. Had to buy a coat and boots when I got there. I didn't fully think this through, but it was great. I had a great experience, and it just like made me so much more comfortable with traveling on my own and the idea of fully traveling on my own. And so it kind of just kept going off of there. Like from there, it was really school experiences that got me out of the country, or I would look for school experiences as a vessel to take me, So I ended up going to Brazil with my sister because then she got into a master's program at the same school that I was in and had to go to Brazil, and I was like, I'm coming too. So me and her best friend ended up joining up on that one. But the first like full solo trip I took was after I finished my post-bac program. It was for a month. I was supposed to spend the month in Thailand, ended up booking the flight, and then meeting someone at a wedding I was shooting who invited me to come and work with her in Cambodia for this nonprofit they were rescuing. It's called GAP International, and they were rescuing women and children that were being that were in sex trafficking, and just rescuing them, rehabilitating them, and then giving them jobs by teaching them how to make clothing, teaching them how to make soap and like other beauty products and things like that. And so I got to ended up going from Thailand to Singapore to Bali, because the flight to Bali was like $90. Somebody, come on. Only there for 3 days, and I promise you I'm gonna come back, and I like Thailand and Indonesia. I only was in the Bali area. It was like hands down some of my favorite places I've ever been to in the world. And I was only there for 3 days. Flew from there to Malaysia. Was there for a couple hours. I picked the flights with the longest layovers so I could check out a country, because now I'm over here seeing like, dang, there's so many places I never would have even thought to visit. And so I started booking flights that had longer layovers so I could check them out. Went from so Bali to Malaysia. Well, Bali's a city, right? So Indonesia to Malaysia to Cambodia to see her and shoot for that company, which is so awesome. And then back to Thailand before coming back to LA, and had some China stopovers in there for like 24 hours or something. So I got to go to the Great Wall. Like I came back like, whoa, like I was so scared going, and like God just like showed himself to me in so many ways of how I need to push my boundaries when it comes to my faith, and when it comes to being bold, and when it comes to trusting that God is going to make things, one, he's going to make things happen for me, but he's going to provide. If he gives me like an idea or a desire that he's placed within my heart, that he's going to make it happen. All I got to do is take the step. And so buying that first ticket was the step, because then I even ended up going to a conference. After I bought that ticket to Thailand, I freaked the heck out. I was like, oh my gosh, 24 hours has passed. I can't get that money back. No one's going with me. Okay. I had this global health conference like the following weekend, and the speaker worked for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation as like their global development head, and was based in Thailand. So I ended up pulling him aside. At the end, I came, you try to figure out networking, what's your pitch gonna be. I was like, hi, I'm going to Thailand in like 3 months, and I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. And so he ended up connecting me to his wife, who was doing research out there, who asked me like, what do you like to do? What do you like to be a part of? I was like, I'm a photographer. I'm applying to medical school, and like, so told her those things. She connected me with 2 retired Canadian photographers who were teaching freaking photography workshops to Burmese refugees. They would have like a refugee camp at the border of Burma and Thailand, and they were teaching them. They were going back home fundraising to buy cameras for them, bought them cameras, taught them how to use it, and then had an exhibit for them with the work that they created. Like, what? So that was in some remote to me. I don't know if it's actually remote there, but it's called My Sop. I can't even remember how you say it properly. But on the western part of Thailand, got to go and like have dinner with them and see, and look at the exhibit and see some of the students that they were teaching. Ended up connecting with a travel blogger through Instagram, and we ended up having a photo shoot on the eastern side of Thailand, and then she ended up coming with me to the islands, and we had a dope time. Ended up meeting some black travelers in the airport in China, and then ended up reconnecting with them in Bangkok, who, mind you, they saved my butt, because I booked my Airbnb one night I booked it one night short, and then ended up getting crashed with them in their hotel. Look, so God just like orchestrated everything. And I think traveling has become such a tool for me to grow, tool for me to remember what peace feels like, remembering that I don't need to know everything, or I don't need to have it all together, I need to think more about the little like salient points, and I'll probably type that up and put it on my website. But there's so many things I learned about myself with traveling. Like even this photo back here that y'all can't really see. I'm gonna point it up for just a second. Kind of see it. That is the Amalfi Coast. I don't even know if this is straight anymore, but whatever. That's what it is. That's the Amalfi Coast, and I got to shoot a travel trip to both Paris, a couple cities in France, Paris, Versailles. We went into like the Champagne region. Oh my gosh, I love wine. And we got to go wine tasting and go to Veuve Clicquot and all these, bomb. And then go to the southern part of Italy, where I took that photo for this travel company that was just starting, and they had their inaugural trip to France. And so I think traveling has just opened the doors in many ways. And as I'm retelling this story, I'm reminding myself why it's important to be bold and to, say yes more, and to believe in yourself more, and to believe in the journey and the progress of working through things that you might not feel qualified for, or I don't know, that you know enough or whatever, that you should just do it and figure it out as you go along, because you have everything you need to make things happen for yourself. So hopefully there's something there that you can take away from this whole travel story. I'm hoping, I've been to 36 countries so far. I'm hoping to explore Africa way more than I have. I've been to only like Morocco. Let me not say it like as if it's like nonchalant. Okay, I've been to Morocco, and I've been to Nigeria, of course. But there's so much more to see in that beautiful continent. Golly. So that's one place I want to go back and explore more. And I definitely want to go back to Bali. So God, I'm leaving this in your hands, 2019. We'll see what happens, because I got the summer off. Time for some shenanigans. That was a horrible wink. I'm never doing that again. But yeah, so that's that story. My introduction to travel. I've been to a lot of places. I can talk about them. I can share them somehow. I think a lot of people want to know, like, how do you fund it while being in med school? Because I've definitely done a lot of domestic travel and international travel since I've been in med school. I think I've gone to Cuba, minus family cruises. I've been to Cuba, Colombia, and Ecuador so far. Oh, and then I went to Nigeria during winter break with a little stop in Dubai and Amsterdam. So I can share more about that in terms of how you travel and as a student, and ways that you could like finesse some funding. I think that's super important when your passions and things that let you relax align. I think it's great. So I can talk about that. I can talk about packing, because I'll be traveling light as I've come from 2014 travel experiences to now. I'd like, if I can travel with my little carry-on, that's it. I don't have time to be lugging suitcases around and not wearing all the things I bring. No time for that. So we can do things like that. But watch it. Think about some ideas. We gonna collaborate on ideas, okay? We gonna collaborate. I'm gonna share what I've done. So just type in the comments what you want me to talk about, what you want me to share about, what tips you want. I can help you with whatever I know. And I'm willing to. So I hope this was helpful. I'm gonna go eat now. I'm about to make some moi moi. If you know what moi moi is, I'm probably gonna do a video on that too, because it's the love of my life. So I'm gonna catch y'all later. Don't miss me too much. Whitney's singing some sad music, but we gonna end with her.